Stop counting the days lost in the rhythm.
North Korea announced on Thursday that it would strengthen its armed forces and deploy new weapons along its border with South Korea. This comes after Seoul suspended part of a 2018 military agreement between the two countries in response to North Korea's launch of a spy satellite. In a statement released by North Korea's defense ministry and reported by the KCNA news agency, the country declared that it would restore all military measures that had been halted under the agreement. The agreement was designed to de-escalate tension along the shared border. The statement from North Korea stated, "From now on, our army will never be bound by the September 19 North-South military agreement. We will withdraw the military steps taken to prevent military tension and conflict in all spheres, including ground, sea, and air, and deploy more powerful armed forces and new type military hardware in the region along the military demarcation line." The satellite launch on Tuesday was North Korea's third attempt this year, following two previous failures. The launch came after North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's visit to Russia, during which President Vladimir Putin pledged to assist Pyongyang in satellite development. South Korean officials believe that the latest launch involved Russian technical assistance, as part of a growing partnership between the two countries. In response to the launch, South Korea suspended part of the inter-Korean agreement and announced increased surveillance along the heavily fortified border with North Korea. North Korea accused South Korea of scrapping the agreement, known as the Comprehensive Military Agreement, and warned that Seoul would be held accountable if a clash were to occur between the two countries. North Korea's statement came shortly after it fired a ballistic missile towards the sea off its east coast on Wednesday. South Korea's military reported that the launch appeared to have failed. The United States Department of State spokesperson commended South Korea's decision to suspend part of the CMA, calling it a prudent and restrained response to North Korea's failure to adhere to the agreement. The spokesperson also stated that the suspension would enhance South Korea's ability to monitor North Korean threats. South Korea has resumed the use of manned and unmanned reconnaissance aircraft in the border area and is conducting surveillance, according to Yonhap news agency. Critics of the suspended agreement argue that it weakens South Korea's ability to monitor North Korea and that Pyongyang had violated the terms. Bruce Klingner, a former CIA analyst now with the US-based Heritage Foundation, stated that while the agreement was beneficial in theory, it came at the cost of curtailing Allied surveillance and military training and did not reduce the North Korean military threat. Despite remaining publicly non-committal, the United States had privately urged South Korea to maintain the agreement, according to Klingner. North Korea's claim of placing its first spy satellite in orbit has drawn international condemnation for violating UN resolutions that prohibit its use of technology applicable to ballistic missile programs. South Korea has stated that the satellite is believed to have entered orbit. But further assessment is needed to determine if it is operating normally.